Welcome everyone to My Team 2.0. F1 25 is here and we waste no time heading into our first episode of our My Team series for this season. Starting off strong, we've of course got to set up our settings. Well, 110 AI, there is no messing around. But we will sort of make it a little bit digestible by making the session length medium. We've got full practice session, full qualifying, and this year we're running strict corner cutting and everything as realistic as possible. Standard on fault types, as you can see there. And we've just realized that the recovery mode, there's no such thing as flashbacks anymore. They're called rewinds. Arav, no more flashbacks for us, mate. What can we do? Collisions on, of course, you know, the standard stuff. Running it realistic, as always. And by that, I mean not picking APXGP, but slightly contradicting, we are going to go for the all-driver icons. That said, I'm not going to be signing Ayrton Senna. Yeah. We're going to headquarters. Oh, here we go. Heading over to the live me now. Oh, this is new. We have new customization. Am I about to design myself? Yes, you are, mate. Hang on. Lads, we all know my name. Bang. Fleetwood. Chuck it down. And that's a bit of me. That's me, lads. Close enough. Love it. Do I get to pick my fit? Oi, where's my fit? You don't. Way! Alright, background. I am a, Oh, yeah, we're a people manager. Come on now. My starting facility investment. Hang on, let me just quickly... got a phone call. Yeah, okay. Hey, yo! Nah, surely not, mate. Let's go! Sorry, I just got off the phone. We have a pretty big sponsor on board. We got advanced. Nothing too special. But we got a bit of money to back us now. Our starting development, lads, I'm gonna be honest. We have the money, but we have no development. We weren't blessed with the funding, unfortunately. There we go. No development. Amount of cash to start with. There we go. Oh, you again, yeah? You what? Oh, yeah? No, that's all right. I'll be honest. That sounds really good, but I think we got to make them earn it. Like, if we had significant reserves, I feel like I know we could have that right now. Yeah, look, I appreciate it. We'll go with some reserves, but you keep some. All right. No, you hang up. All right. All right, cool. So we got some reserves. It's the big one. Team identity, team name. We're going with the classic Fleetwood Formula, of course, that being my surname. And now it's time to pick the team branding, the identity for the team. This is crucial, of course. The problem is that pretty much every color is being used. We were considering going with something with a yellow, but that just seems like a bit of a cop-out now with APXGP and just using Renault. So we went with something a little bit interesting. Oh! Team badge. Fleetwood Formula. We've got to make that obviously very relevant. I just want a little dash, or just straight up. Get in there with the colors. How about it? Look at that. So if we go bang, bang. And that is all she wrote. So we got the teal, black, and white going on here. Okay. This is where we make the big decisions. How do we want to start the year? It's time for our sponsor. So let's have a look. We've got, obviously, increasing... Okay. Signing bonus. Cool. But then you got to look at the weekly income. And we're playing... the long game here. Granted, Xenon does have a nice seasonal goal, weekly income. The signing bonus will be made up within 1 week. Okay, so don't worry about that signing bonus. The signing bonus is nothing. Use our business brains. We're looking at weekly income and seasonal goal. And actually, the core value, of which innovation and technology, while it's the lowest weekly income, I do like that that is their focus. Does that actually correlate to something? I don't know. And again, if there's 52 weeks in a season, I'm still doing some quick maths off the top of my head, and you're looking at a 40k weekly income, realistically, Seren is the best, and that is who we go for. Seren being our title sponsor, Select. With that weekly income, really was just too good to pass up, and of course, it was an achievable goal. Also, now it's time for the engine, and I'll be honest, it's a no-brainer. You need the best engine when you're starting with nothing else. So we're going with Ferrari, and time for our first driver. Now, of course, we've got the rookies, the boys from F2 and F3, Matthias Zagzeta, Nikola Solov, Callum Voisin, and all the, of course, hang on a minute, there you go, the F1 esports boys. We could do something interesting and promote them, get a Jana Watme, but a Joshua Dirksen would go down a tree also, Zay Maloney, and Pepe Marti, Victor Martins. These boys, wow, talent. Mark Webber there, of course, the next of the icons. I think we're going to go for one rookie and one talented or experienced driver, I should say. We've got Sonny Hayes there. And while Brad Pitt is only 3.32 mil, and we're going with Mark Webber, guys. It's a no-brainer. The Australian team needs an Australian driver with experience. As for the second driver, it's between one of two. It's Pepe or Victor, but we're going to go with the Spaniard, the Red Bull Junior, Pepe Marti. And with that all done, it's time for us to design the car livery. Of course, we're very limited at this point of the game with the sort of designs we get. This one is kind of a no-brainer to me. I quite like the way it looks, and we really don't need to change a whole lot. We're just going to adjust a few little things, and you'll see the final car design in just 1 minute when we go to the car reveal. You're going to wait to see what the final look is, and pretty straightforward for the race gear.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all, because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's
I'll be honest,
state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing
these
their brand new car
don't look that
very
great.
soon. But behind every team, behind every car, there's one person
I feel like they look like
central
they
to it all.
aged
Yes, and they're a really popular character
That's
up
me.
and down the paddock with great energy and years of experience in managing people to success. The question is, how will they balance that arm around the shoulder approach, all whilst having to deliver performance on track?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
Oh, let's do it, Natalie. Let's have a look.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations, and all the very best for the season ahead.
Thank you, Natalie. You gonna ask me any questions? Job's easy. With that said and done, now it is time to head to Team HQ. Oh, hang on. Let's stop queuing there. Let's go have a look at what's going on. So the activities tab is new this year. As you can see, you can assign activities not just in general, but for each separate department. So we've got for ourselves here, these are our owner activities, and we can, of course, schedule those in. You get the classic buffs, the reducing time, the increase in morale, the productivity, the focus there for the drivers, which is exactly what we're going to do. And we schedule in all of those good things. Just realistically, what we're focusing on here is performance and making a tiny bit of cash. Fortunately, we had that, lucrative sponsorship deal early on, so we don't have to worry too much about cash. And here is a new team owner tab. We've got all our emails here. We can do our own training, which will be interesting, and I wonder how that will actually influence things. Does that just mean that we get to have better performance within our facilities? Will morale be better? We'll find out very soon. And here we go, the R&D. This is what we're familiar with, this R&D tab. Only you'll see that it says research and not research and development. What does that mean? Well, we'll figure that out soon. Let's start by researching the aerodynamics. We need all that we can. And here, having a look at the performance charts, I picked up on something here. We don't have our team. We have Webber and Marty in the bottom left. We have two separate car performances. Even more, I wonder what that is. And as you can see, we have research delayed there on our front wing, which I was thinking, oh no, we've got a part fail. And here I realized, assign upgrades. Huzzah. Would you look at that? We do indeed have to pick which car the upgrade goes on. And at this point in time, we only have one upgrade slot, or development slot I should say, available, as you can see down there, meaning only one car will get the upgrade at a time. This right there introduces a bit of favoritism. But let's see the drivers for the 2025 season. And Yuki Tsunoda stood there with Red Bull. Jack Doohan with Alpine. There's a few updates that have taken place and some that still need changing. But that is your driver lineup for the 2025 season. Let's get underway. So back in there now, we've got more resources to, Beamwing research. And here we go, development. We have our research completed for the floor stiffening trays, but can only upgrade one piece at a time, single development, which can be finished before Australia, meaning that one of our cars, if successful, will get a single upgrade before the first race. And title sponsor, of course, we've got Seren on the car there, but I've noticed here you can add more sponsors to the car, which aren't necessarily title sponsors and earned. Now, do they earn us more income? I think maybe. As you can see here, based on where we place it, you can see secondary sponsor weekly income is now plus 131k, plus 236.25k, and we're just going to put on all the sponsors we possibly can, and before you know it, we've got all the cash. Of course, do the driver numbers now, and we're just about ready to show you the final car before we head into the first race of the season. There she is, baby, the Fleetwood Formula Challenger. Now, looking at it, I've realized, are we sort of stepping on Mercedes' toes a little bit? Potentially. But I didn't, for some reason, I didn't even think of that while I was making the car. I thought, you know what, there's no one else that looks like this. We've got Alpine and Williams, they're rich blues, you know, and a pink with Alpine. But here it is, I'm a big fan. It reminds me of a local sports team we've got around here in Adelaide, if you know what I'm talking about. There you go. That is the Fleetwood Formula, and I must say, I'm quite a fan of how she looks. She's come together quite nicely. Let's hope it's just as good on track. My best judgment will say that it won't be so good on track, but we do have Mark Webber. So hopefully he can pull through and clutch up and get some early points for the team. But my hopes are low. Of course, we are running 110 AI. I have never touched this game yet. I mean, obviously the game's freshly out, but I mean, I haven't gone into time trial. I haven't done any other Grand Prix or anything like that. And we're going to have to just go straight in blind. We have one more development that we can get done. That's on the plank, but that's not going to be ready for the Australian Grand Prix. And research delayed there on the beam wing. Okay, that's just the research. The development should still be okay. But we have something we have to do here, a decision to make. Which driver should be given the simulator time? Obviously Pepe. And here we go. Oh, you... Okay. Okay. We failed. We had one part that could get upgraded before Australia, and it has failed. But nonetheless, we're going to have to go in on even playing field. As you can see there, yikes, it didn't pull off, and we won't get it till China. But who do we drive as? Do we drive as no one? Do we... Okay, I am mistaken. We have to pick between the two of them. And I think it's a bit of a no-brainer as to who we're going to pick. We're going to drive as Pepe Marti. One, because I want to drive as a rookie and have a bit of a career that I can go, oh, look what I'm doing. And two, Mark Webber is the better AI. So we want the best for the team, right? Welcome along, boys. Let's get seated. Looking smart in our team gear. Big fan of that. Mark Webber is still of racing age, thankfully. So it's not too far-fetched to be driving for us. We haven't gone with like Michael Schumacher or someone like that. But here we go. Welcome to the thing. Oh, thank goodness we've not been given a tutorial. We're going to go straight in there. Mark Priestley! What's good, brother?
Hello, and a very warm welcome to a brand new season in Formula One. It's 2025. We've got a 4-time world champion joining the grid. Do we have 4 teams in the championship? There's certainly been convergence over the winter months and plenty to look forward to before the huge regulation change in 2026. Now is all about free practice. Let's get straight into it in FP1.
Sorry, Natalie, for interrupting you, but would you look at that Pepe's helmet? Beautiful. Alrighty. It's time we hit the track for the first time.
Hey mate, this is Mark. This is going to be a good year. We're going to have a great time together. And obviously the team are brand new, so I've set everything up from scratch. Let's make the big boss happy and show that we're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, alright?
Sounds like a plan, Mark. I don't want the garage tutorial. No! Of course, we've got race strategy, track acclimatization, time management, all those good things. Let's get out there straight away by simply just putting some laps down. This is my first time on the game. I'm gonna use the hards. No, I'm gonna use a set of softs. This is gonna be stupid, but let's do it. Of course, car setup. It's time we head to Sim Racing Center to get our setup for F1 25. I cannot go into this without one. So big ups to Sim Racing Center. Get your setups from Sim Racing Center in the description. So we went out now without a setup because we didn't get the code wasn't working. So we're raw dogging it here for our first lap. Heavy on the brakes, and very quickly we realized how much we needed that setup. As you can see, she's a bit of a struggle, but never fear, we'll just carry on. This is our first lap on the new game, and again, the brakes don't want to be braking. So yeah, that was pretty short-lived, obviously. And also, this thing is a goddamn boat. Don't get on that curb. That's something that we have learned very early on. We've gone back in, we've put on a pair of softs just to see if there's any better grip. And the understeer on exit is unbelievable. Gabriel Bortoletto getting in the way there. And again, on the brakes, we tried a different approach of just like trying to turn in a little bit earlier. Again, you see the understeer on exit at turn 1. It's sliding through like corner entry, as you can see, every single time. So we're sliding on corner entry, already stepping out as soon as we turn the wheel. We've just made a mistake there. But then, like, straight away, we are going deep. So it's like oversteery on entry and understeery on exit. Now, though, we do have a setup on. We went back in. We got ourselves an SRC Sim Racing Center setup. Get yours now. Link in the description. And we just obviously have to try and get to grips with this game a little bit now. This is our second practice session. And we're finding a little bit more stability in this car. There are obviously a few more new nuances with this game, and the track is different. One of the laser scan tracks for this year. Turn 1, and there you go again, though. This car is just bad, is what we're learning here. There's only so much a setup can do, and the setup is really doing its best to carry us here. We've gone and popped on oh, there's the smoke particle effect, which is still in the game and has not been yet fixed. As you can see, there was no one around. There shouldn't be that smoke. But this was a pretty decent lap. We thought we'd go for a little push lap here. We are doing truck acclimatization, but we just treated it as like something of a push lap. And there you can see P10, but of course Sector 2 is just where we gained all of our time because we dumped the battery. But we thought we're going to go for another push lap here on the softs and screw the development points things. We just want to go for an actual representative lap, so we put lowest fuel in as we could, and we're going for something of a quali sim here. Quite pleased so far with this lap, getting up on the limits. That was again a little bit understeer on exit. Get on that curb is not what you want. That was nice, took a bit of curb there, but it does unsettle the car. Very poor through this final few corners, but that puts us P3. Not bad, and we're going to end the session there. Will we hold on to our P3? We're good in Sector 1's pretty decent. Sector 3 is terrible, though. 7/10 down. And Sector 2, obviously, the ERS helps. We were 4th in Practice 2, and we're just going to sim the other sessions to get those extra resource points. And we were lucky to get a 50% come off there. And we get maximum resource points from that session, so quite pleased with that one. A few development boosts here and there. And we're just going to go straight in now for quali.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
Let's get it crofty. The newly sponsored Louis Vuitton Australian Grand Prix. How about that? Pepe in the car there with his beautiful Red Bull helmet. Does that mean that we have Red Bull sponsorship at the team? Maybe. We're going to go out now for our first quali lap of the season. Pushing a little bit of battery before the start finish, because obviously while you have 100%, there is a maximum usage per lap. So if you can get a little bit of extra speed into turn 1 without it counting on that single lap, you might as well. Bit of DRS down here. Turn 1-2 wasn't too bad, and let's see how we go. That was a lot nicer. We didn't go so deep. We were able to keep it pinned in at the apex. Here is always tricky, and that was pretty smooth if you ask me. There's a little bit of tarmac there to the left before you enter that right-hander, which you can use. And do we touch the grass? No, that was clean. I am extremely pleased with this lap so far. We're improving on Bortoletto. That was deep. That was not good. Jump that curb, ride that too much. That was not ideal. And it seems we've used too much battery. Looked very hot. Yeah, looked very, very hot into there. Very deep on the brakes. Didn't get it slowed down. And again, with that dirty left front now, we're going to have no grip on the right-handers. As you can see here, we are very understeery and a little bit slippery there on the exit as well. That's not going to be a great Sector 3 by any means, and that's good enough for P21. That's not good enough for anything. As you can see, though, it did... We're going to pause here, right? I thought, did I exceed track limits? I want to... Wait, where is it? We need to prove to you we do have strict on, okay? So... that was... Any track limit concerns there is entirely to do with the game. I've not rigged the rules, and now we're going to go for a second push lap on the same set of tires. So we had enough fuel in the car to go for a second lap. That was a little bit better than the last time. You want to try and keep it in as you do here. That was nice as well. The problem is when it comes to the back straight, we don't have as much battery in the tank, and of course tire life. And also... tire temperatures are a problem. The front right, you can see, sitting consistently throughout the lap at 75 degrees Celsius, so that lap did absolutely nothing. And it's time now for our final lap in Q1. Can we make it out in our first qualifying session? Turn 1-2, take that curb nicely, and we had a great exit there in the second phase of that chicane. DRS on, ERS on, and we're going to turn off the ERS into the braking zone now. Let's see if we can trail brake nicely in. A little bit too much curb there, probably unsettled it a little bit, went a bit deep, but we managed well and get a decent exit here. Get on that left side of the track. Boom, beautiful, up against it. Mark, be quiet! In the chicane now, shark it in, just about avoiding track limits there. And keep it pinned here to the right, the esports line as I like to call it. Wear up those tyres, this is quality. We touched the grass there, contrary to what usually we are told. I don't want to be touching grass. Let's see how we go in the chicane now. Right up against the wall, a little bit late on the initial turn in, but the second apex was decent and we're improving by half a second right now. Is that enough to see us out of qualifying? Don't mess up this corner. Very deep. We've kind of screwed it up there a little bit. Use a bit of ERS to regain that speed on the exit. That's a better corner. How do we go? This is important. We've gone a bit deep again, and that's going to be the story of our life. But a final corner exit here would be good to get strong, and we've got it done nicely up through the gears. ERS is deployed, and where do we finish? That seemed good. Please. 16. We've done it. Okay, obviously I'm doing a post voiceover right now. Okay, so I know what was happening, but I literally was screaming like giddy like a little kid when that happened. Does that maybe mean that my expectations were really low? Yes, it does. Mark Webber is 4/10 slower than us. Have that. Into Q2 now, though. This first run is on that used set that we took over from Q1. Not expecting a whole lot, but we're very pleased to be in this session. Q2, there was a little bit of delayed reaction initially from me when we got through Q1, because I forgot that obviously there's a new team, so 16th was the cutoff. So I thought, oh, we might not have made it. But also, did you notice, we made it through by 7,000ths of a second. If you missed that, rewind for proof. 7,000ths of a second it was that we made it into Q1 by, and here we go, our final lap in qualifying. Should we fail to make it into Q3, it would be a very big ask. Here we go into turn 1 now. That's a good apex. That's a very nice apex. I'm very pleased with that. DRS now. We've gone a little bit deep, but can we carry a bit of speed? That seems pretty alright. Like, I'm not mad at that. Getting on that curb though on the right, oh, we missed that a little bit. Bit washed out to the left there on initial turn-in, which I'm not a huge fan of. DRS now shut as we're on the brakes. That was okay. Grab some curb on the right. I think we can probably go over that a little bit more. And into the braking zone, which we hate so much. Again, it doesn't look too bad. Probably not as good as our previous lap to get us out of Q1. And final corner, or not really, but the final braking zone. How do we go on the exit there? You're a little bit wobbly. You see, we had a little bit of a correction moment there, which did cost us. And to the line here. It's an improvement by 0.4, but I don't see that being an awful lot. No, it's P14. So we did make it past 2 people, though I imagine not the quicker... Yeah, okay. Not the quicker cars. We're 0.5, half a second away from the next place in P13, Isak Hadjar, and just in front of the Aston Martins.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula 1 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda and Russell, Ocon, Albon, Sainz and Ollie Behrman, Doohan, Hamilton, Isaac Hadjar and Pepe Martin, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg and Pierre Gasly, Antonelli, Bortoletto, Lawson and Mark Webber rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. New season, new dawn, and now 22 cars and 11 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. I mean, to have an 11th team on the grid is exciting news for the sport. But for them today, I guess you would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to match our last result, but just try your best to gain a few places at the start.
What is Mark talking about? Our last result. Buddy, it's our first race. We're a brand new team. We haven't had a result, mate. What do you... waffle. So looking at the strategies here. Alright, we've got 2-stop or a 1-stop. And I'll be honest, it's always going to be a 1-stop, right? In real life, in the F1 games, we're running a cheeky 1-stop. So we're going to go for the mediums to the hards. Hopefully get a better start than those starting on the harder compound. And we've got formation lap. The problem we've got here, tyre temperature. So, big concern, obviously, was tyre temps. I thought, okay, we're going to try formation lap, because last year the formation lap just was stupid. You couldn't do it because, well, tyre temps were non-existent. So I thought, let's see how we go this year. Last year, you could do this thing called brake dragging, which would help you increase your temps. Doesn't work. Unless I'm doing it wrong. Tried a bit of weaving. We get the surface temps up a little bit, but the carcass was ice cold. We're starting on mid 70 degree temperatures. Not happy Jan. 5 red lights are on though for our first race of the season, and we are racing in Australia. We get a really good launch, just dropping the rest of them, but the second phase of our launch is also really good. We're going to go down the inside. Can we get on the brakes in time? And it's Esteban Ocon on the inside there of the exit, and we've whacked the wall trying to make it through. Jack Doohan now on our left-hand side. We're going to be very generous because I'll be honest, I don't trust these brakes. We let Jack Doohan take that position and we'll sit pretty in P9. Very pleased. What a start. We made up 5 places there at the start. Not too shabby. But you'll notice our tyre wear is already on 6%. Does that mean that tyre wear counts on formation lap? My verdict is yes. My verdict is we've kind of cooked ourselves here by trying to warm them up on the formation lap so aggressively. Anyway, end of the first lap, Max Verstappen leading. And let's have a look at that start once again. We had a very, very nice launch. We had to try and pick our lane there because those slower cars in front were going to be a bit of a problem. So we opt to the inside line, and that is incredibly close there to Oliver Bearman. You can have a look here. So we go to the inside initially, find that lane past the Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari, just about get past the Williams, and oh, that is incredibly close. Slow it down there. We just avoid contact with Esteban Ocon. And a weave on the exit, though, trying to steer clear of him, puts us out of contention with Jack Doohan there, and we whack the wall for good measure, but no damage.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap.
DRS this lap. Ollie Bearman behind us now. And hang on a minute, it was Ollie Bearman that we got rubbing with. No, it wasn't. Never mind. I take it back. It was absolutely Ocon. Sorry, guys. Forgive me. We will be... we'll smack the wall there again. We probably will be rubbing wheels with Ollie Bearman soon because our pace is not very good. That said, we've got DRS here on Jack Doohan. We're going to go to the outside before the big chicane that we all know and love, and we do get the move done. We get that second dose of DRS also on the exit. Grab some curb there. We took too much. Okay. That's our first track limits warning of the season, and into the final corner there as well. You can see if we want to have any speed on corner entry, we're going to be sliding mid-corner, and that obviously compromises our exit because the brakes just don't want to work. The car is a boat. I don't understand. Ollie Bearman now behind us watching Jack Doohan go past, and he's going to try and shape up a move. Jack Doohan wiggles across to the left there, under braking. Very, very interesting, mate. You might want to watch yourself because you don't have a seat anymore. There we go. Ollie Bearman is going to be watching this. Look at his lips. He's going to try it around the outside there. Will he get the move done? We're going to afford him the room. But nah, we'll shut the door on you last minute, mate. There was never a chance there. Through this corner there every single time. I forget which corner it is. Is it maybe corner 8 or 9? I'm not sure. Very, very washed out. Ollie Bearman wants this move. He needs it. He's thinking, I need to get Jack. But do you know who's going to get Jack? Me. Here we go. On the exit here, if we can get down with some DRS, looking at the battery though, we're already on 9%, 8% and counting. We're not going to really be in much of a position to be making any move anytime soon, unless Jack makes a mistake, because our pace isn't there. We touched our tyres into the grass again, and what does that mean? That means more understeer for the next couple left-handers, unless we can clear the tyres quickly. There we go, a bit more understeer again, mid-corner, and Ollie Bearman sees this is an easy move. I'm in the top 10 now, keep it up. Okay, I will. I'll keep up my 9th place. How about that? Stay behind Ollie Bearman. Get that DRS. Can we catch Jack Doohan though before the next detection point? No, we don't. 1.3 behind. And we are now incredibly vulnerable to Ollie Bearman now. In P10, here he goes. This isn't even worth fighting. Ollie's going to get it done as long as we can keep the position from Carlos Sainz. He's trying to go around the inside. We can't. Okay, how about the exit? Let's get a nice exit and see if we can get him back. My verdict is, though, we're not going to be able to. We're in a Williams sandwich right now. We just don't have the pace. What can we do? The car is a boat. Looking behind to our teammate now, Mark Webber, in dead last and not able to keep up with the cars in front on raw pace as well. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you the car's crap. And I second that. She's not very stable. You put a bit of fuel in it, not good. We've got Albon now behind us, wanting to make a move. He's got Lewis Hamilton. Oh, we're very slippery through the corner there. We did well to not spin out, and looking at the tyre wear, the rear left is already 26. Oh, thanks, Mark. Lewis Hamilton's going to get past here. Don't let Alex Albon pass. Hang on. Hey, Alex, you've just rammed us, mate. And look at the floor damage we've got. Thanks, Alex. Thank you very much. And getting suggested to go onto a set of hards a lap earlier now because the deg is so bad. Is this because we took a lap of life out of them on formation lap? Probably. And also we are just sliding everywhere.
serious damage to the underbody. Repeat, serious damage to the underbody.
Mark! No, that's not what I want to hear. I mean, I already knew that we had serious damage to the underbody, but you confirming it just makes me a little bit sad, I'll be honest. Fernando Alonso now going for a very aggressive move down the inside, and knowing that we have a lot of damage, we're not going to bother. This is just a battle for pride now.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Thanks, Mark. We have indeed lost a position. Ooh, the dirty air there through the corner wasn't nice. Alonso going a little bit slower than I would have liked. And we're going to get him back here around the outside, heading into the braking zone, just about clear him. We will get a second dose of DRS again, but the question is, can we catch Alex Albon on those hards? Probably not. Especially considering that the mediums, ooh, bit of gravel there for good measure. The mediums are going to be probably slower now than the hard tyres, so this gap is just going to keep increasing. And what once was an understeery car and a bit of a boat is now even more so. Have you have a look on the...
The underbody's incurred critical damage.
Okay. Yeah, Mark, thanks. I was actually just explaining that to the people at home.
The pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
Ooh, we got Nico Hulkenberg down our inside there. I'm not a fan of you, Nico. My boy, you are being very aggressive. You better watch yourself, buddy. We don't have anything of a flaw. Please be kind, Nico. Don't... Oh, wait, you know, we're going to do the Alonso here. We could keep it around the outside. Speaking of, there's his teammate, Lance Stroll. We touched him, we made contact, and we're spun out! No! Oh, God. What's happened there? Here, you can have a look. So we've just got beached, essentially, or bottomed out, I should say, on that curb. The big sausage curb. We saw it in practice really early on. And that's a red flag! I couldn't... if he just had a little bit more, like, give me 2 seconds. We didn't need a red flag, that. I'll take the red flag. But we absolutely didn't need to red flag that. I was moving. Jeez.
Okay, we've done all right so far, but
Okay.
there's a chance to take a breath. We've got another half of this race to go, and there's still a big opportunity there.
Thank you, Mark. We do have a big opportunity here with a restart. We're going to go, obviously, onto the hards. No question about it. Let's have a look at the start. Do we get wheel spin on these hards that are obviously super freezing cold? But look at the damage we've still got. The side pod damage. And Alex Albon, we've got a collision warning there. Down the inside, we're going to just see if we can keep it. Hamilton on the exit, not being very generous. And we've almost pushed Albon into the wall on the exit there. What I'm not a fan of is that we do have a 5-second penalty for that incident earlier on with Nico Hulkenberg, which caused the red flag. But in my defense, Lewis Hamilton here going a bit slow. Oh, he's slammed the door through that corner there. In my defense, I like genuinely couldn't do anything more. I just ended up in the middle of the road. I put the brakes on so that I didn't go into the wall and damage my rear wing or something. There's smoke. We've got to be a little bit careful there. Okay, I've got problems with this, EA. The smoke particle effect glitch, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's a little bit too much. It's very thick. The smoke isn't that blinding, okay? But corner exit again here. Look, we've already fallen out of DRS. Oh, dear. Alex Albon is all over us. We don't have a car that can make any turn, and we're already out of battery. 1.5 seconds, the gap already. Alex Albon wants past, and you know what? Have at it, mate. There's nothing we can do. Fernando Alonso wants it as well. We're going to actually fight this one. We've got a yellow flag here, at which point I kind of lift off a little bit because I'm thinking, oh, has Fernando? No. I thought we rammed Fernando Alonso into the wall, but it's actually Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto out with an engine issue. Oh, virtual safety car. Okay, Mark, be quiet. I can hear you twice. Okay. Virtual safety car ending. We didn't have a good start, I'll be honest. So Gabriel Bortoleto out with an engine failure. Ooh. Return to racing speed. We've actually gained a little bit of time here. While our delta was pretty poor, we've kind of timed that well. Lovely bit of straight here. And there's a nice bunched up group of cars in front that should fight and allow us back into a little bit of a battle here. Heavy on the brakes here. Again, we're not very good under brakes. The floor is not our friend.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Okay, we won't be making another pit stop. That's the strategy, at least. We got Lance Stroll, who's just got past us. We're now into P13. Alonso is next behind us. The other Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso. And then our arch nemesis, our enemy, Nico Hulkenberg, is the next car behind again. And look at that. On turn-in, are we being a bit aggressive on the steering? Maybe. But also, the car just is very washy. Fernando Alonso, you're going to have to do it the hard way, and that you have. The traction he's got there on corner exit is ridiculous. Is that an AI thing? Is that just a difference in cars? I mean, the Aston Martin isn't ridiculously strong in this game, I don't think. So surely not, but I don't know. On the curb, he just had so much more power. Nico Hülkenberg wants it around the outside of turn 1. No, mate. You've hurt me once. Not again. Stay behind for P16. Keep in mind, though, right now, if the race finishes as it is, we are probably going to finish last. We have 5 seconds worth of a penalty. We're very slippery through the entry there, and we're sliding on the exit as well. We're trying to keep it pinned. No! We've slid. We've spun. And we're into the wall, and it's Nico Hülkenberg. He hits the back of us. Have that, mate. You are my enemy. Yeah, as you can see there, just from the very beginning, from turn-in, the car was lost. And that's a virtual safety car. It's been upgraded to a full safety car. Look, I'm going to blame the floor here. That it just is non-existent. We come in, of course, we're going to change the front wing. There we go. Okay. Catch safety car Q. I'd love to. Nico Hülkenberg is also in, changing his front wing. He'll come out in front of us. Public enemy number 1, Nico Hülkenberg. And we are now dead last in this race, with a 5-second penalty, nonetheless. So, yikes. Safety car in this lap. Again, okay, we've been chasing down the safety car for a couple laps there. At full pace, meaning our tyres should be well and truly heated up, but they weren't. How were they still 70 degrees? I don't get it, and we've been dropped on corner exit. Now, though, we have got the 2 racing bulls down in 17th and 18th. What happened to them? They seem to have a great qualifying. The race pace just not there.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.
All right, Mark, I'm on it, mate. Never fear. The overtake is here. We've got them battling up in front. We're going to let them go a little bit ahead so we can get a nice exit here. Nico Hülkenberg kind of offline there. We had a bit of a crappy exit there. Very wide. Not optimal, but we're going to go forward now and have a look at the Racing Bulls. They're battling through the corner. Liam Lawson's going to try to round the outside and get the move done. Almost he does. Will he complete it? We're going to go for a lovely aggressive move here on Nico Hülkenberg. Liam Lawson gets past. We're going to get past Nico. Ow! Nico! We're there! We're still here, mate. Come on, go away! Nico! What the hell? Mate! What is he playing at? He's just turned in on us there. What are you doing? We were mate, that's... I tell you what, if that's not a race ban, I don't know what is. Nico! What are you doing? Oh, mate, I know, look, James Vowles, he says break everything, and that was my motto as a manager heading into this season. Team principal, Ethan Fleetwood, he says break everything. But I didn't mean everything. Come on. The amount of damage that we've taken already in this first race weekend is ludicrous. We didn't actually damage our front wing there, so we don't have to pit, but dirty tyres cost us there, and Nico Hülkenberg now on the softs. He's just going to catch us right back up. Looking further up in front, Oscar Piastri leading his home race as it stands, but Max Verstappen gets on past. There's really been no action so far in this race, other than me being an idiot. Turn 1, 2, look at that! Would you laugh, for goodness sakes?
Increasing the gap on the car behind by 5/10 a lap.
Well, thanks, Mark. No, we're not. We've just crashed and hit the wall. As you can see there on corner entry, the car was already, like, just dying. We were already lost immediately. The car now has no front wing. We have no turn-in. But I've done a bit of a boo-boo here. Break everything!
Are you alright? Engine off. Engine off.
I forgot that, obviously, the turn-in would be a lot different. I took it what I thought was preserved. No. That was not preserved enough. And that is a retirement in our first race. Pepe Marti, not happy Jan. But that's it. The Australian Grand Prix.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen. He takes victory.
And to get a victory at the first race of the season, this might be a sign of things to come. One thing's for sure is that this performance will be giving the team and the driver relief and confidence going into the rest of the season.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number 1, Max Verstappen.
Wowee! Max Verstappen is leading the championship.
Weekend of Formula One.
Oscar, what happened?
More exciting Formula One action very soon.
How's he finished P4? Mental. Obviously, Bortoleto DNF. We DNF'd with a 5-second penalty for good measure. That really is a race to forget for Pepe Marti. Unfortunately, we had a great start. Did we have the pace to score points anyway? Probably not. I feel like we would have lost it on raw pace regardless. So, look, you can't be too disappointed there. But that damage that we picked up from, was it Alex Albon, heading into the chicane, broke the floor. That's all she wrote, really. From that point on, this car was beyond undrivable. We dropped it there. We caused a red flag. We dropped it another time. And then, of course, for good measure, we dropped it one last time. It ended up in the wall. We DNF'd. Oh, actually, no, Nico! What are you doing? Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And that's episode 1 of My Team finished. We'll catch you very soon for episode 2. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. We've got plenty of coming for the F1 game. And I shall see you all very soon.